Welcome to Very Rich Stories, where you will see stories of betrayal and secrets and twists in real life. And now, Homewreckers Anonymous, Women Know, Men Don't. My grandmother always told me that women have two families, the one they're born into and the one they discover when life punches them in the gut. But she never explained what she meant. Not until the day I found myself sitting in a premarital counselor's office without my fiancé. Again. Or shall I say, again. This was the third time. He'd forgotten the appointment, or pretended to forget. Again. Either way, I sat there alone, twisting my engagement ring like a nervous schoolgirl. The counselor smiled gently, folding her hands. "Is Leon coming?" she asked. I said, "He got stuck at work. He said he'll try." She nodded in a way that told me she had heard those words 1,000 times before. "Is everything all right between you two?" "What do you mean?" The counselor just stared. Then I continued, "He is about to marry me. I'm sure he will settle down after we get married." Then she leaned forward and lowered her voice. "Can I tell you something? Something I don't tell everyone?" I blinked. Sure?" "There's a group of women," she said softly. "Very old, very discreet. They help each other through things most women face alone." I laughed nervously. "Like a support group?" "A sisterhood," she said. "You're getting married in 2 weeks, and Leon has come to 0 premarital counseling appointments." Now I stared at her. How dare she? But I didn't say anything. The counselor just gave me a long, gentle look. "Mariella," she said, "why are you carrying the whole marriage before it's even begun?" I didn't have an answer. I just felt embarrassed, ashamed, and desperately trying to hold on to a man who didn't show up, literally or emotionally. The counselor sighed softly and closed her notebook. "Look," she said, "I don't normally do this, but I'm concerned for you and I want you to have options." I blinked. "Options? For what?" "For your future," she said. "For the day you realize someone who cannot show up for counseling may not show up for marriage either." She reached into her desk and pulled out a simple cream-colored card. Haven Foundation, a phone number, no names. I frowned. "What is this?" "A sisterhood," she said quietly. "Very old, very discreet. It exists to help women land on their feet when life breaks in ways we cannot fix alone." I started shaking my head. "I don't think I'll need—" "I know," she said gently. "That's why I'm enrolling you myself. You won't owe dues, not yet. Consider it a blessing from older women who've been in your shoes." And then she added something that stayed with me for years. "You deserve stability, Mariella, even if you can't see that yet." I clutched it in my hand and could feel my hands getting sweaty, just thinking about my marriage not working, and I wasn't even married yet. The invitations had already gone out. I couldn't stop the wedding now, even if I wanted to, and I didn't want to. I wanted to be married ever since I was a girl. I told myself I'd never need that card. The future me would find out that I was wrong. The counselor continued, "If your marriage ever breaks in a way you cannot fix, they help you land on your feet." I didn't understand then, but she gave me a simple card, Haven Foundation. "Never show this card to Leon or any man or anyone you do not trust 1,000%. I looked at the card, a number, nothing more. "Just keep it," she said. "You may never need it. I hope you never do." I tucked it in my wallet and forgot about it. Fast forward 3 years into the marriage. The signs were there long before the truth. He's in the shower one night and his phone rings. Up pops a picture of a seductive woman named Felicia, looking very OnlyFans. She had homewrecker written all over her face and outfit. Well, what there was of it. Leon had another woman. I was shocked, stunned. Late nights, defensive phone habits, perfume on his shirt that wasn't mine. It was all adding up now. Felicia. I tried to talk to him. He rolled his eyes. "It's just stress. Stop reading into things." But the night he didn't come home, that was the night something inside me snapped into perfect clarity. Until one day, Leon had just done too much. He was proving to be the worst husband ever. She wondered why in the world did she marry him. She called the number on the card. She told who had referred her. They said they would call her back at 2 p.m. in 2 days, exactly. The next afternoon, I went to get my hair done. I needed a pick-me-up, even though I felt exhausted and hollow. I felt my eyes blur with tears and hoped the heat from the hairdryer would dry them before anyone could see. A woman beside me under the next dryer said, "Rough day?" I wiped my cheek fast. "Just tired." She looked at me, really looked at me. "He's not treating you right, is he?" she murmured. I froze. I don't know what you mean." "You don't have to," she said, "but if you ever need help, call this." She handed me a paper receipt with a number scrawled at the bottom. On it was written 2 p.m. That name hit me like lightning. The counselor. Her business card was still in my wallet after all these years. The new paper from the lady at the hair salon. Haven Foundation, same phone number. The next day at exactly 2 p.m., my cell phone rang. My hands shook as I answered. A calm voice spoke before I could. "This is Elise speaking." I couldn't speak at first. Then everything poured out. "My husband, I think he's cheating. I don't have proof. I don't know what to do." She said, "You don't need to panic. You just need to breathe, and you need a sister. We know who you are, and we've done the background check on Leon." "Yes, that's my husband. Yes, Mariella, we know, and you are not wrong. Your husband has been stepping out on your marriage for about a year and a half, and now the whole thing is under threat of a homewrecker named Felicia." What happened next felt like stepping behind a curtain into a world I never knew existed. Elise told me to meet a woman named Naomi at 5 p.m. sharp at the coffee shop on Park Street. Naomi wore jeans, sneakers, and carried a binder that looked like PTA paperwork. But it wasn't. She slid a page toward me. "We get positive proof," she said. "We don't accuse men blindly. We verify. We protect you. We protect the integrity of the foundation." I whispered, "I don't want revenge." Naomi smiled. "We don't do revenge. We do stability." They connected me with a private detective, a woman in her 40s named Sandra who looked like she could blend into wallpaper. She said, "I'll get what we need," and she did. 3 days later, she handed me an envelope. Inside were photos, Leon with Felicia, timestamps, messages, receipts. Leon going into hotels with Felicia. The truth. I stared at them, numb. Sandra said softly, "Once you have proof, you may file a claim. You only get one in your lifetime. One chance to walk away with a fresh start." I asked, "What claim? Where?" "You're a member of the Haven Foundation." "What?" "The number you called." I sat there just looking puzzled, I'm sure. "The Haven Foundation," she whispered. "It says you are a member and have been for 3 years. You were referred by Erica Brown, your marriage counselor. She gave me a card, but she enrolled you for the 3-month trial period, but all your dues have been paid on time every month for the past 3 years. So you are a solid member, and you can file a claim." "A claim? What do you mean exactly?" "A claim for help to get you through this gut punch." I thought that was funny since it echoed the way my grandmother talked. "What do I get?" She leaned back. "You get peace. You get housing for 5 years. You get training. You get stability. And when the dust settles, you'll be able to buy your home or move anywhere you want." I whispered, "How?" "It's the Haven Foundation. It is a private foundation where women form a sisterhood and they look out for each other. Women who have been the victims of bad husbands, bad choices, and homewreckers. You get a home for 5 years, no rent payments. Education if you decide to accept it to include business training and a payout for living expenses. Why, how? Because you're a member. I'm a member? I rehearsed to myself. My marriage counselor, she knew. I hated to ask, but I did. How much? "No one knows the number," Sandra said. "Not even us. It's calculated privately. All you need to know is, it's enough. Enough." That was all I needed. The courtroom scene was surreal. He strutted in with his lawyer, smirking like he'd already won. He told the court lies and planned to leave me destitute with nothing. I'm so glad I never had kids with that man. I sat calm, quiet, unbothered. He whispered from the other table when he thought the judge wasn't watching, "You're being dramatic. You know you can't make it alone." He was trying to taunt me. "Oh, Leon," I thought to myself as I almost laughed out loud. The judge rapped his gavel, order, and then asked Leon a few questions. He dodged, he lied, he contradicted himself. I didn't react, and that, more than anything, made him panic. He kept glancing at me like I'd become a stranger. Afterward, in the hallway, he grabbed my arm and smugly said, "I kept everything and you got nothing." I pulled my arm away and turned to walk out of the courthouse. He yelled to me as my shoes set a calm cadence against the old marble floors. "Why aren't you freaking out? Why aren't you crying? Why aren't you trying to fix this?" I turned back once and looked at him with the same kind of pity you give a child who doesn't understand the world yet. Because I'm going to be fine, I said. He stared at me like I was speaking another language. Fine? Without me? Yes, he blinked hard. Mariella, we can fix this. We can start over. No, I said. I already started. He said, who's helping you? Is it your family? Some lawyer? What's going on? I walked away, smiling. He didn't need to know. My 30 days in the sanctuary felt like being wrapped in warm sunlight. Not witchy, not mystical, just peaceful. Women cooking together, laughing, crying, rebuilding, learning. There was a little school for kids, a business class for women starting over, a therapy room that felt like a hug. This was not a women's shelter. It was amazing and it was secret. I don't really know where it was. We went in through a facade that looked like a regular large house, and the front looked like a women's shelter. But as we passed through the building, we went through a disguised bookcase that was an elevator, and we went underground. It was a whole world there. There was a big communal kitchen, and it was fully stocked. From the kitchen, there were small apartments. Simple, warm, one-bedroom, private. I was thankful for this, and it was all I needed at the time. Some of the women had children, so they were in larger apartments. I don't know how many apartments were there, but it was decent, clean, nice, pleasant, and the women, even if they had been thrown out or traumatized, they were healing. The minimum amount of time there is 30 days, and that's how long I stayed, because my court case and final decree was expedited, and everything I needed to handle in the state of Georgia was done and dusted. At the end of the month, they asked where I wanted to begin again. I said somewhere quiet. They gave me a house, a real house, free for 5 years. I cried on the front porch the day I moved in, not from sadness, but from relief. For the first time, I wasn't surviving. I was living. Months later, I was doing well, working part-time and halfway through a degree program so I would be both educated and well-trained in starting my own business. No one knew me there, so I could move freely about the town I moved to. One day I came out of the grocery store and was walking to my car when I saw a woman in the parking lot. She was young. She looked 23 years old. She looked so tired, a toddler, only about a year old on her hip. Her husband sitting in the car, blasting music, tapping impatiently on the steering wheel. I recognized the look on her face, the same one I used to wear. So I walked up to her. "Rough day?" I asked. She gave a weak smile. Rough day, rough week, rough year. She tilted her head to the car she had gotten out of where her husband pretended he was the drummer in a rap band. I handed her a receipt with a number scribbled on it. Yes, I knew that number by heart. It saved my life. "Call this if you ever need a friend," I told her. She squinted at it. "Is this a church thing?" "No," I said. "It's a women thing." She looked at me like she didn't understand. She will. One day. By now you're probably wondering what happened to Leon. Well, after I left Georgia, he used to send me messages. "I miss you. I regret everything. I can change. Are you seeing someone?" Then one day I decided to change my phone and my phone number. I was living in a different state now, and he didn't know where, and I was going to keep it that way. Because my life isn't about him anymore. It's about me, and the women who held me up when I couldn't stand alone. The women who said, "You do not need to beg for love. You do not need to fear being alone. You do not need to crumble when a man fails you." I didn't lose anything when I left him. I gained myself, my life, and my life's purpose all through a sisterhood that I was a part of and never knew it. And if you ever see a woman walking down the street with a serene look on her face, while her husband's eyeballs are popping out of his head at someone in a tight blouse or a short skirt, you'll know why she smiles instead of screaming. Because she knows something he doesn't. She's not competing. She's not panicking. She's not afraid. She has the Haven Foundation. It's known to us in the foundation as Homewreckers Anonymous. It's insurance. It's a fallback plan. It's a sisterhood. Although most of us never meet and we don't socialize together, we don't draw attention to the foundation. This is all silent and discreet and life-saving. And that means every woman who are members of the foundation will always land on her feet, with dignity, stability, and peace. Women can stay with their husband if they want to, not because they have to. The men don't know about it. It is a strict society that is never talked about. Never, because the sisters do. Select sisters. the women who participate in breaking up marriages, the homewreckers cannot join. Some women are sisters, others are homewreckers. If your eyes are open, you can see the difference. Yet, the circle keeps growing. Homewreckers Anonymous. Thank you for watching Very Rich Stories. Please join our family and subscribe. Share this to your friends and leave a comment. Tune in again for another original story on Very Rich Stories.